Hello there! This is Shuttle7221, and you're probably wondering, what on earth is this game? I haven't seen this before. That's because you haven't. What's this mouse doing here? Is it because it's a browser game? Indeed it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tekken Card Tournament for all browsers, inferior or superior, and tablets and probably other iOS thingamajiggies that I am too poor to currently have. But I digress. This is Tekken Card Tournament, and it's a relatively new game. It only came out a couple of days ago. It's free to play, but it's a limited beta, as you can see. So, no, don't expect it to be too impressive this second. It's a card game, actually. It's based off of Tekken Card Challenge. Well, at least it's very similar to me to Tekken Card Challenge, the Neo Geo pocket game that came out quite a while back for Japan only, which I tried recently on an emulator, as I said, and it's pretty rubbish, all things considered. But this isn't. This is actually a very solid game, and for a free-to-play game, it's extremely good. I'm not sure if it'll stay free-to-play, but hopefully it will. So I'm going to quickly explain how the game works. It's a card game, and you've got your decks. Of course, mine isn't actually called the Share deck because, well, this is Shuttle7221. So, let me explain. You have 15 cards in your deck maximum. You can only have 15 cards. You start with 15 cards, and then if you want to put a new better card in, you have to replace an old one with it. You can also have a power card in your deck, but I don't have one of those yet, since I haven't been playing the game for too long. So, the thing with this game is that so far it has 9 characters, and once you pick a character, every character has their own deck based on them, and the cards are actually the characters' moves in Tekken games, which is extremely clever. And the way it works is that every move doesn't really have the exact same damage that it does in, Tekken games, but that's not a huge deal really. And there are when you're in the game itself, there are 3 different ways there are 3 different moves you can do, and your opponent plays at the same time. It's not a turn-based card game such as Yu-Gi-Oh! It's both players play at the same time, and you're given 10 seconds to make a choice between focus, strike, or block. Focus simply adds a card to your current hand. You can have up to 5 cards in your hand, and once you've used the card, it's put back into your deck. So focus gives you a card, so you start with none. Strike uses all the cards that you currently have in your hand and attacks the opponent with them. And after that, they're shuffled back into the deck. Block. If you think your opponent's going to strike, then you can block. This blocks the first 2 moves that the opponent does, the first 2 cards on the list. You can't pick and choose, and your opponent can't pick and choose which moves they attack with either. But after that, if they have any other cards in their hand, they will hit regardless. So it's a very rock paper scissors sort of thing. And of course, this being a card game, you don't just have moves. All these cards here with a bronze outline are common, but while you start with 15 common cards, you do of course gain other slightly better cards. So these 2 cards here are uncommon with the silver outline. We've got 2 stars as well, and these cards have special effects. So if I click on here, after you attack your opponent, if your opponent played strike and you have no more than 80 health points, you gain 15 health points, which is a very useful card. I have 2 of those. And this card here, after you attack your opponent, if you have no more than 60 health points, you discard that card and draw 2 new cards, which is very helpful if you're running sort of low, or so on and so forth. And then you have rare cards, which of course have much better effects still. There are super rares as well, but I haven't got any of those yet. So this card here, before you attack your opponent, if you and your opponent played strike, you gain 25 protection, which is pretty helpful. But this card here is even more helpful still. Before you attack, if you played strike, you gain 50 protection. That is extremely helpful. In fact, that worked just in the last game, very helpful. You can, as I said, only have exactly 15 cards in your deck as well as a power card, but I don't have those yet. So, not sure what changes are made, but whatever. So I hope I've explained that well enough. There are, of course, other things as well. For example, you have your collection. I'll just go through the characters in the game here. You have, of course, Kazuya, Paul Phoenix, Martial Law, Panda, Yoshimitsu, Ling Xiaoyu, Nina, and Lily. Random trivia. So far, this is the only game in Tekken history that does not have a Hachi Mishima in it. He may come later though. So, that's only current. And there are other features as well, just before we get into an actual game. You have, messages section, mailbox. Don't have any messages yet. I also have no friends yet, because none of my friends, for example, good old Lord Dark Dan, have signed up yet. And that's because I doubt most of them have even heard of this. And if they have heard of it, then they just plain don't care. So far this is, as I said, a limited beta. Before there were only about 100, 200 slots, but now they've added 200 more, no 2,000 more, sorry, and that allowed me to get in. So really, I'm going to put a link in the description. Get on this game as quickly as you can if you want to. Sign an account up as soon as possible, because you might not get a chance, especially if this turns out to be a game that you have to pay for later on. You do also get rewards for, doing certain things and such, which give you, for example here, I've won 5 battles using a Kazuya deck. My next reward is 10 victories with a Kazuya deck. So I'll claim reward, and it gives me, ta-da, 200 gold. Very helpful. And as you can see, that's your gold, and those are your credits. You use those to buy booster packs and such. You also have levels, which give you new features. So let's go into the shop, and as you can see, that huge thing there is worth 2,000 gold. You can sell cards for gold, but I wouldn't recommend it unless if you really need the gold. And then with credits you can buy, bonus packs, other things. For example, this one gives you 3 cards once 4 characters, Nina, Kazuya, Yoshimitsu and Law. And you're guaranteed to get at least one wear. That's supposed to be spelt with 2 E's, Namco. Sort that out. This is a beta, so I'll forgive them. And then you have got packs for your own characters and such. So I mean, 5 cards, at least 3 cards of the character showing, and at least 1 rare. You can get more if you're very lucky. But I'm not going to buy one of these because there's a chance I might not get Kazuya, who I'm focusing on this second. So I'm going to wait until I've got enough credits to buy his own pack. So there are other features as well. For example, card fusion. I don't have a clue what that does yet. It'll be very interesting to see. So without further ado, let's actually have a proper game. So you can play arcade mode, which is basically fight against a computer. You can have a friendly match online, or you can have a ranked match, but I haven't unlocked that yet. So we're going to go online and see who's on. That guy's a way I know that, so I'm not going to even bother. He's been there since I signed up. So we're going to go on arcade mode. It's got medium and hard, so we're going to have to stay on easy since I haven't unlocked those yet. And what do you know? We're against Kazuya. If you have noticed, you'll probably have known. Yep, Tekken 6 portraits, and so far the only levels are on Tekken 6. Fight! So you've got 10 seconds to make one of 3 choices. You start off with no cards, and so does your opponent. So the best thing to do is focus. Only thing to do. I think I'm gonna focus again because I doubt he's gonna strike. Oh, but he does. Oh, that's a bit of pain. I'm going to focus. He blocks like a mug. He can't strike, so I'm going to focus again. So I'm building up cards here because he's constantly making mistakes. Then I can launch a big attack when I do will focus. I think I'm going to focus one more time. He blocks. They generally don't do the same move twice in a row from what I've seen. So obviously now I'm going to have to strike. Let's see what he does. He blocks, of course. Oh well. Look at that, beautiful. But the protection you get is only for that one round, so to speak. Ah, of course, I probably should have blocked there, but no huge deal. It's not too much. So, just keep focusing. He blocks. If you do attack your opponent when they're focusing, they lose a card as well as gaining one. I'm going to try the same strategy I did before, I think. Continuing to block, losing out on 3 cards. And I think now I'm going to strike. Ah, of course he blocks. But look, he's almost dead. He's almost out. You notice that the music very awkwardly loops. That's because it is only a beta still. So, you know. And I think I'm going to focus one more time. If I get 3 cards, then it's basically game over thing. So, one more time. Now my card's effect will kick in. Since my opponent striked, I gain 15 health points. Very helpful. But that doesn't mean I lose a card since I focused it. I'm going to focus again, and now it's basically game, unless he gets a really good card. Oh, he blocked. Yeah, it's game over. Well, not quite. I'm going to focus one more time. Oh. So he drank the Well, it doesn't matter since I killed him anyway. And you'll notice that the cards, when you actually do the card and the character does the move, it won't actually do the move shown on the card. That's just a little criticism I have. Now you see here, this auto refill. That means you can only play 5 matches in half an hour, unless if you spend 30 credits. Which I don't really like too much, in honesty. So, I think that's basically Tekken Card Tournament in a nutshell. Feel free to have me, we can have a couple of games. I am on here periodically. Get on this game as soon as you can, because it's brilliant, especially for people who like card games and Tekken. Or either. Or neither. Probably not neither then. But anyway, I digress. This has been Shoulder7221, and let's try. And I tried Tekken Card Tournament, and I like it. If you like it, tell me in the comments, and I'll do a couple more episodes of this. So if I've sort of been a bit weird with my commentary, I did do another episode of this before, and it turned out much better, but I had problems, my voice came out really staticky, so I had to redo it. Anyway, if you want to see more of this, send a comment, chuck a comment in the description, chuck a comment below, and get on this game as soon as you can before all the beta slots run out. They probably will have more, but you can't be certain. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Shoulder out.